views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Let me be your lighthouse so I can show you the way. Let me be your shining light, keep you from drifting away. I'm the one that makes you try.
Hello, this is Patty Hunter again. This week we have on Patty's page, which is my show, Dirk Rowley.
Hello.
Of Insight 21,
ABC 21.
ABC 21 TV, and this beside me, I'm sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. I'm John Dickmeyer.
And this is Terry Doran.
Hi, Patty.
Both my co-hosts today, and Dirk is our special guest. We've seen you on TV quite a lot, you know.
I appreciate that. I have no idea what you want to talk to me about.
Okay, well, where are you from?
I grew up in Upland, Indiana, so about halfway to Indianapolis. Taylor
there.
University.
Yeah.
Ivanhoe's, 100 different Sundays, 100 different shakes. So I've covered the whole town pretty much start to finish right there.
So how old were you when you moved away from there?
I finished at Taylor University and then moved to Fort Wayne in 1989.
1989.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been doing Insight?
Insight has been about 4 years. 4 years. Yeah, so radio before that.
Okay.
Radio.
Yeah, and then TV. Got the tie and got the
looking groovy.
Had to shave. And all of that once the TV started. So yeah.
I like to know what when you were young, who influenced you the most to become in the media, the speaking on the radio?
Well, so I was in a Rotary Club speech contest down in Grant County, and did that for that was my junior year in high school, and then again in my senior year in high school. And I am to tell you how good of speech you're going to hear today. I was 3rd out of 5 2 years in a row. I am as mediocre as you can get.
You did
fine. My the general manager of one of the radio stations in Marion, my senior year, said, "I didn't really like your speech, but your voice is pretty good. Could you be interested in working part-time?" And so I did that at a beautiful elevator music station, my senior year in high school from 6 to midnight.
So you're bass.
And absolutely
your
loved it.
Your voice is bass.
Yes.
That's
or baritone.
That's the best interview job
that was it.
that I've heard. I don't like what you said, but I like your voice.
I thought I might be a lawyer before that, and I guess the world doesn't need another lawyer. Not that we need many more DJs either, but so that's how it started, and that's what I was doing, working full time, and took a year off before they had a name for a gap year, and then finally went to Taylor because it was close, and I liked the school, and graduated 4 years later. And
what did you take? What'd you major in?
Mass communications. So that was broadcasting, TV, radio, and newspaper at the time. And I thought, why am I taking newspapers?
Oh, listen, I used to be a typesetter.
Oh, yeah, but it made no sense at the time. And then all of a sudden the internet came along, and all those things you learned, all the layout and design things you learned.
It's good to know.
Yeah, it's exactly good to know.
It's good to know.
Yep.
It's good to have background for that.
But it's also good for broadcasting because to write your own scripts and to do that in short order is a real skill if you've got it.
All those journalism classes, and that was one of the things I did in radio when I first started.
English.
Was writing news stories. And all of a sudden when you're doing that on the air, and you take a classroom work where if you mess up, okay, that's fine. But when you mess up on the air, now you've got people calling and saying that's not right. You used the wrong phrase, you used the wrong word, you pronounced that incorrectly. That was before people could write on Facebook all the wrong things you've done. They would actually call or send a letter. But yeah, it became a big deal. You know, you have to have the right word, say the right thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to pronounce it exactly.
Yes.
So you have been working for how many years in the radio business?
More than 30, and then 4 in TV. So a few.
A few.
Yeah.
A little bit here, a little bit there.
A little bit.
So you went right from radio to Insight.
Correct.
Not like a reporter on the field.
Right. Well, you know, technically, Insight's not the news.
I understand.
Yeah, so
I meant you weren't in the news.
Right. No, I never did TV news.
Describe Insight. What is it?
For folks who haven't seen, we're on at 12:30 on ABC 21 Monday through Friday after the noon news. So it's a combination of paid and unpaid segments. There's some clients that pay to be on the show that want to use it as an advertising vehicle. There's other folks that just want to tell their story, and so we like to invite nonprofits that have no money to spend on advertising in.
That sounds like us.
And they can share their stories.
Hey, I know some nonprofits like that.
Yeah, so, and, you know, obviously we, you know, because technically the show is there to make money, you know, we're not trying to get rich because we keep everything affordable. We want to put as many community assets as we can on TV, but I guess they want me to get paid. So
that helps.
Yeah, so typically we put the paying people on first, and then when we have space, we like to put the nonprofits on where we can. And
remember us.
there you go. Yeah.
You're working at Magic Radio?
Magic 95.1.
I
Still?
remember.
Yes. No, not still.
No?
But yeah,
I
so
remember.
Dirk and Jeanette, we were there for 15 years or so, from about 2000 till I started Insight.
Yeah,
And,
Barb Richards is there.
Barb
right?
Richards.
Yeah, she's a
Barb's
great
still
friend.
there.
Yeah.
Even
She's in 33?
she's
All over the
a
place.
bundle of energy. Yeah. So she's on the radio. She's running the Fort Wayne CW and doing TV and radio.
Yeah, okay.
I
knew
can only
I
just
heard
do
your
one.
name. Yeah, Magic.
Yeah, so we were a block away from where we're sitting here now. So,
Yeah.
you know, the beautiful views of downtown and the bread baking. And
So you have all your energy on Insight.
that is what I do now, yeah.
So how do you do your interviews? Who do you get guests coming in, or do you ask guests, or do they ask you?
A little bit of both. I mean,
Bit of
we're always trying to find people that want to tell their message, and we have the advantage of letting people speak a little longer than, you know, a 30-second commercial, so people can explain what their product is, and they can put the video on their website later. So there's plenty of businesses that love the opportunity to come on Insight. So we're always looking for them. Our sales staff helps find, you know, new businesses that want to explain
That's good.
what's going on, and then I'm always looking for good, fun stories to tell in Fort Wayne.
So do you get the guests yourself? Is that, or do you have
It's a
somebody
combination. Yeah,
else
we have the
that has
salespeople who will tell me, hey, here, this client would like to come on, and then I coordinate with them. And then
Are you a director or producer?
I'm technically a producer. If they could figure out a way that I could direct it as well, then I
They
think
would.
one day they might. But at this point, if you ever watch the show, I'm on camera, and if you
Yeah.
look behind the glass, there's a different person there where you see their silhouette. That's the director.
Okay.
And but other than that,
Yeah.
it's really a one-man show.
It is.
Yeah.
So do you go on location, of course?
We will, yeah.
Yeah.
That can be fun. We'll spend this summer, we spent the last few summers doing our series called Life's Better Here, which is takes us to all the different towns throughout Northeast Indiana. And last year we did a whole show from each town.
Yes. I know.
So
I watched that.
yeah, and actually some towns had more than a town, but some of, you know, to just go up and spend 30 minutes of TV time at, you know, Hamilton Lake.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, we need to do that again so we can stay out here in the sun on the lake, you know. Well,
Out on the beach.
exactly, retake. Yeah.
I think the one location show that I remember best was one that you did in Auburn, and there's so much to see in Auburn.
So much to see in Auburn. Yeah, they've got that new square there, you know, the new public space right off the downtown, right off the square area. You've got all the museums. It's Auburn. There's so many towns that have continued to grow, and you know, we're really lucky at how well our small towns are doing. Not just Fort Wayne, but the towns around us are really vibrant and seem to be doing a lot better than some other areas of Indiana.
So you're married.
Yes.
To a wonderful wife.
To a wonderful wife.
And you have kids.
And I have 3 kids.
And you have 3. That.
Yeah.
Big, little.
Well, they're big now. My son is technically probably taller than I am, and he's the youngest. So he's finishing up at Purdue. I've got a daughter who actually the most compliant child. She picked her mom's major and my college, so she's down at Taylor. And then my oldest, technically my stepdaughter, is graduated and married and has a grandson. And
Mazel tov.
Yeah, thanks. And so, yeah, and still lives close, so we get to see the grandson and her husband, and that's been a whole lot of fun.
Are you into sports?
I am a terrible golfer. Does that qualify?
What is your average? Never mind.
Yeah. My average is.
Thank you, Pat.
Yeah, my average is the scorecard accidentally got thrown away or blew off the little holder there, and I guess we're not keeping score this round.
That happens to me a lot too.
Yeah.
Would talking about dogs be better?
Dogs would be better. Anything. I'll talk about golf. I love golf. I mean, but it's
just getting.
Yeah, I'm just not good at it.
I thought I would mention dogs because one of our favorite segments that you do has to do with dogs.
Yes, every week Jessica Henry comes in from the Allen County SPCA and
just
brings
dogs. How about cats?
She will bring cats. Cats don't travel well in cars, so she has to get them really little. But the work that they do is incredible, and they have just taken off, being able to not only clear shelters here and around our area, they can bring in animals from the deep south where they've got a true pet population problem and help get those animals into homes.
Yeah, and then they do a lot more than adoption too. I mean, I had a dog that was sick and then died, and they were so kind to me to come out and help me, and so I was really grieving. So I want to say something nice about them too.
Yeah.
Beautiful dog. Yeah. Well,
I can ask another question in that regard. Can you relate a funny incident that's happened on Inside with animals?
Well, sure. There's some things you don't see. As you know, if you've worked in TV long enough, the camera tends to shoot up here. There's been cases where the dog has maybe had an accident just seconds before we go on the air, and so we are all enjoying that fresh smell.
Make sure you don't slide all over.
No one sees that. There's been times where the dog, has almost pulled Jessica out of the chair because it's one of the bigger breeds. There was one that started chewing its collar, and we made a joke about it early in the segment, and before she was done, that collar was gone, and so was the dog. So
she gets the dog back.
Well, he didn't get outside the building. But, he was off the set. So that's the end of that.
Did you have exotic animals?
We don't with the Allen County SPCA because I think they only use try to shelter and find homes for dogs and cats. Allen County Animal Care and Control, Fort Wayne Animal Care and Control, I think does have some exotic pets, but they tend to visit over at News Channel 15. So.
Yeah, I think I confused them. It was Animal Control that was so nice, but they're both great.
They're both great organizations,
and because they both have helped me, I've been involved with both of them. So
you interview people in sport fitness.
We talked to Indiana Physical Therapy, so the folks that do physical therapy, they're on every week and continue to amaze me. I had no idea, if you have a balance problem, that they can do physical therapy to help your inner ear. So I don't mean like.
See, I got that, and I saw that episode, and I tried to get my doctor to refer me to them, but he didn't. But then he referred me to somebody else. But I saw that episode, and I'm still interested because that man seemed to really know how to treat this. Yeah,
and it's just there's things like that physical therapy to me was kind of like, okay, your arm hurts, so do some exercises.
Yeah, same here. I never thought of exercises to cure or at least treat this
Right.
inner ear thing, which is a balance problem, but they're treating me with mostly with exercises and encouragement and insight, to use your name of your
Insight. Who came up with that idea?
I have no idea. That the
How long has it
show
been going?
started a few years before I got there, and I think originally it was on. This is back when
As a
ABC
lady
and
did,
NBC.
yeah.
Well, it was even before that. It started at I think 4 o'clock in the afternoon on then NBC 33, and then they moved it to I think 9 a.m. on ABC 21, and that's when Charity and Emily hosted it. The two women hosted it, and then they moved
Oh,
it
yeah, I
from
remember that.
9
She moved.
to 12 in the middle of the like 12:20 to 12:50, so in the middle of the noon news. So Linda Jackson had to stay around back then and wait and do those last 10 minutes of news at the
Yeah.
end. And then finally, when I took over, they kind of said,
down.
let's make the news this and then Insight that, and not.
Yeah.
So you
mix
have a
the
half
two.
an hour of the actual show.
The actual show run time for those who ever want to time it is 27 minutes and 51 seconds.
And commercial.
There's 8 minutes of commercials inside.
8 minutes.
Well,
How'd you get the job?
That's a great
from
question.
radio?
No, that's a great. I mean, I still ask that question.
I didn't mean that detrimentally. I mean, how did you make the transition?
The transition was. You know what? I honestly, there's still days I don't know what camera I'm looking at, so I don't know that I'm any better off. It's just a lot of things you learn in radio apply to TV, obviously, and so.
So when you see a red light, that means.
Yeah, see, we don't have the red lights.
Oh, you don't?
We have numbers underneath that are all green that are counting down the whole show, and then they change from green to red. So that's sort of the red light, but it's like I'm looked at like these here have the red lights on the top.
Oh, I mean,
So-
to you, red light means is that one's not being used. The green light is the one that's being used.
No, red is the one that's being used. Green is the one that's not being used. And then we have a couple people on our staff who are red-green colorblind, and I have no idea how they find the right camera at all. But whoever designed that
Maybe
clearly.
someone goes that way.
No, there's no people. We don't have people like you have camera operators here.
It's
Everything in
automatic.
the new studios are automatic, and they pre-program it, and they can control it kind of with the joystick from the back room, and there you go.
Pathway Community Church.
Correct.
You've been with them long?
I've been with Pathway, which is up on Carroll Road, since they started. Actually, maybe a little before they started. We'd heard about it when it was 4 couples, and we'd moved to the northwest side of Fort Wayne. My wife and I lived for about 5 years up in South Bend, and we moved, and we were looking for a church, and we had 2 different people say, well, there's couples that are planning this church, you should go be part of it. And we said, we don't want to be part of a church plant. That would... at that time, our oldest was in 4th grade. She'd be the only one, is what we thought. Well, 3 of those couples had a 4th grader, so that was good. And then, we started meeting on Wednesdays before the church opened on Sunday, and we've been there
That's cool.
since the
That's
first
a good
service.
long time.
Yeah,
Cousin Hank.
bless you.
I said German, did I?
Yeah, that's all right.
So, your wife, what does she do?
My wife was a CPA. Is a CPA. She did public accounting for a while when Ernst & Young had an office here. Back when Lincoln had their home office here.
Yeah.
Right.
So then Ernst & Young left. She had actually stayed home for about 10 years with our kids. Then she now works as a assistant vice president, associate vice president, whatever the A is, an AVP at Brotherhood Mutual. So they insure churches, and she gets to travel around
that's
different.
good. Does she help your church? Or no?
She does not technically. I mean, technically, our church, I think, deals with. I don't know how that works, but
Right.
yeah. So yes, but she serves on our church, in the financial board. And,
Are you on a board of anything? I don't want you to
am-
get bored or anything like that. But
I am on the board of Cross Connections, which is licensed mental health counseling from a biblical / Christian worldview.
I have heard of them.
They do some
They are
fantastic work.
excellent,
Yes,
excellent.
again with
So, what do you do there?
nothing except sit on the board. So I go to meetings and tell people about it and things like that.
Spread it around.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not for everyone, but yeah, for the people that really need it, maybe you're a pastor and you've got some very serious, concerns that you're not comfortable trying to counsel. They've got people that you can send right to. So,
Yes.
yeah.
So, do you have any dealings with Parkview?
No, I mean, not much. I drive by a lot.
With what?
He drives by a lot.
With Parkview up there we live on the northwest side, and so it's become
Oh, you're Northwest?
and so it becomes a destination for my wife and I. We'll ride our bikes all the way to.
That's nice.
We ride to the hospital, go in, eat a little lunch. It's cheap and it's delicious, and then we
Yeah.
ride back home.
They do have
You
nourishing.
don't ride out there in DuPont, do you? That's pretty busy
Well,
street.
it's getting better as they get widened, and they'll put the sidewalks in. But no, I think if you ride it,
Yeah.
we can find our way through some neighborhoods and make it along Carroll or Union Chapel or whatever that becomes up there.
yeah.
So
I
you-
live out in that area
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah. You have been with Insight for about 4 years.
4 years on Insight.
Do you know, do you have any goals or anything for the future for yourself and family and all that?
No,
Like
this
do
is-
more shows of sorts?
I like taking the show on the road. That's
Yeah.
honestly, I'd love to go more places and visit more places and do more things like that. With the technology, it's easier than ever to pick up and move. So I don't have specific goals.
Are those shows planned on location? I mean, you have the guests, or do you just go into Auburn and go out on the street?
No,
and-
typically, yeah. There's some planning there, so we know
Yeah.
to be sure that we have 27 minutes and 51
Yeah,
seconds
yeah.
worth of content. So yeah,
That's
we
cool.
will plan pretty far ahead and make sure that
Do you ever do unscripted, like go out on the street and ask people, what do you think about this?
No,
or
not
that?
too much. Not too much of that.
Just wondering.
So it is scripted. So
Well, none of it's scripted.
Oh, well,
I mean,
I
this
know,
is
but
you
you ask
Yeah, I've
questions.
got some questions. Hopefully that
just
Right.
like a
that we're gonna
producer
ask.
would have,
Yeah.
or a host.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in the
Exactly.
business. Oh, just looking to the light. I've been in as a producer host for my TV show for 8 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Almost 410 shows
Wow.
and specials, and I've had Dr. Avita King on my show,
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Hart of Voice and Heart.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, you'll have to remember the people from Leave It to Beaver that we
Oh,
did.
oh yeah, we did
Wow.
Tony Dow and Jerry Matthew.
Wow. I need to get you to book guests on my show.
Yes, I could.
Okay.
I have about over 300 business cards. I think I'll get that.
Uh huh.
Yeah.
I've done several grand openings and March for Life here and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pro-life.
Well, there we go.
So,
You never know what you're going to run into here.
oh, hope you don't.
It's all
Never.
about making
No.
connections, isn't
Yeah,
it?
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
If you need any help with this old girl, let me know.
All right. So, what's the goal for this show? How many
The
more?
goals-
How many more of these are you going to do?
Today,
Not today. I don't know. Maybe.
I know I got another 8 years.
Okay.
I'm not going to give up. I'm 66 now.
She helps a lot with our group organization, Three Rivers Art Center for Kids, called TRACK. And Patty helps a lot with that. And
I help put the events together, get all the people that I have interviewed over the years who are entertainers and such come on a show to give their talent free for the community, diversity,
Yeah.
and dance, drumming, singing, flute.
Mm-hmm.
So
we do a festival once a year called River Drums, which is a multicultural festival honoring our rivers and the diversity of Fort Wayne. This year, this theme is the spirit of a community, and a lot of the guests are dancers, drummers. We don't do interviews; they perform, but a lot of them we get from Patty's page. Is my point.
Yeah,
So-
I've interviewed a lot of people.
Do you have a favorite interview?
Dr. Rita King.
Yeah.
She's
Do you have a
sweet.
least favorite interview?
Okay,
One
don't
that-
answer
Besides
that.
this one?
I've been on her show.
Yeah,
She better
this
not
is-
answer
take this
that.
one off. But
There was one that I couldn't put on the air. I had to say, no, it's not good. So I said
It's
no.
amazing what you can't put on the air. Like the one time that I interviewed
Yeah,
a
John does
young
the show,
lady,
too.
and she would only answer in yes and no and very short sentences. And by the end of the interview, I was sucking air. I was.
When they
I
give you
was-
yes,
I was
no.
literally blue.
yeah, I've felt that pain. Yes, absolutely.
When
yeah.
they when
And
they
you can get them too, and you don't know ahead of time.
Yeah, yeah.
One-
And your
one-
show is a little different from Patty's. Patty's 30 minutes is usually one guest, versus you said you have maybe four.
Yeah, we'll have
a
usually
half
4
hour.
different
Okay.
segments on our show
So
every day.
that's a little bit different.
Yeah, so
I mean,
people
you
usually
gotta
have to
prepare,
talk fast,
yeah.
and they always go, "Wow, I didn't know it'd go that fast,
And-
and I didn't say this, or this," and then it's like, well,
and
you'll have
hope
to come
you don't
back.
get mixed up. You're interviewing person A, but you're asking questions. Yeah, for
Yeah.
you do research about these people before they come on.
I have them just do research. I'm too lazy. No, I do some research, and there's a fine line with the internet now between stalking and but again, if somebody's coming on the show
Yeah.
and has a certain story they want to tell, obviously I'm going to find out.
Logic.
Yeah, they're going to tell us.
Very
Yeah.
logical.
Yeah.
You have to do your due diligence. That's a part of the job.
Right. Correct.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
You know, I mean,
Never
you
stop
wouldn't
learning.
put someone on just cold, not
Hopefully
knowing
not.
anything.
Right. Yeah.
Oh lordy.
Yeah, that's happened a few times, and or there's people. Typically, a lot of times, guests on Insight are voluntold they're going to be on TV. So there's a boss somewhere that says, "Hey, we want you to be on
Yeah.
this Insight show," and they're like, "What? Me? What?" And so they show up, and they're a little nervous, but we hopefully make it fun for them.
Did you know that this is the end of the show? Dang it. We gotta have you back on.
Okay.
You're a worthy
Well,
guest.
thank you very much.
Worthy opponent.
Well, no.
One producer to the other. Hey.
Yeah.
So what would you like to say? We got less than 30 seconds. 1, 2, okay.
Well, I think what I get from your show is you're very friendly. You're friendly here, so I think it's not an act. I mean, it's not a TV act. You're a friendly person, and you're interested in people, and that's the secret, I think, of whether it's radio or TV, that you make people feel comfortable.
Well, thank you.
Well, this is, hurry.
And, it's a great show because it's the only show that really gives you a look at the whole community.
Yeah.
That actually looks at a number of issues.
Okay, well, this is the end. This is the end. Oh, no. This is the end of my show. Thank you for coming on to my
Thanks
show,
again.
Dirk.
Thank you very much.
And you, John, and you, Terry. Thank you
Dirk,
so much.
pleasure to meet you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
So next week, we have other guests. So enjoy the week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
My love, until we meet again, you're always in my heart and every dream. Don't let this time apart give in to all our fears. God will keep us close from up above. So until we meet again, Godspeed, my